Maybe it does mean. Maybe it might.
Right.
Maybe it might.
The fight is so close. They're so closely knitted that you got to look for all the small pieces because the small things are what going to add up to somebody winning the fight.
And fight a guy who might put him in a dog fight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go look for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody.
But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career.
The thing I like about Teo's style, I mean, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just a guy who's going to hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right. Yes.
But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys.
Roy Jones Jr. and Max Kellerman made one thing clear. This fight isn't about hype. It's about mindset, courage, ambition. True champions don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't hide behind size, reputation, or risk. They fight whoever is in front of them. Max says Shakur Stevenson carries more pressure here, while Teofimo Lopez has far more to gain if he wins big on boxing's highest competitive stage. Roy Jones Jr. compared this matchup to Canelo versus Terrence Crawford.
The undefeated fighter. He's seen as the eventual pound-for-pound champ, potentially. Yes. But Teo has more to win. He has more to gain. So on the one hand, is there an advantage there where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy? On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before. He's lost to Kambosos, and he came back from that. But oh my God, if he can pull it off. Like, if it's a close fight and Teo could keep it close and we're going into the 10th, 11th, 12th rounds, is there an advantage there given that situation?
He came back from that Kambosos fight, but in some way, the jury is still out on Teo a little bit because I'm gonna tell you what, on that card that was done in Times Square, he looked the best out of, with all due respect, out of a lot of people that.
But with a twist, that fight is about power meeting power. Shakur versus Teofimo is different. This is skill versus skill, technique versus technique. No bully tactics, no shortcuts, just pure boxing deciding the winner. Max Kellerman highlighted Teofimo's footwork as a major weapon.
Damn fight too. See, that fight is skill for skill, as good as this fight. But they just haven't been around long enough to prove themselves yet. But skill for skill, as far as equality, to me, Bud and Canelo are equal because we're in their career. That's how accomplished they are. These two guys are also equal where they're in their career, because they're accomplished, but not as accomplished as these two. But they're still equal. Sure. You understand me? So those are two good damn fights.
He doesn't just move, he flows. He creates angles, controls space, and slides around danger with high-level rear awareness. Teofimo understands positioning, timing, and when to strike or disappear. Teofimo says boxing begins in the mind, and mentally, he feels ready.
To be honest, the way I see it, I don't think that was the best version of Teo by a long shot. But even then, he was rallying in that fight late. Yeah. He has championship heart. And the thing I like about Teo's style, I mean, when you have a guy like Shakur whose defense is that good, and he's not just a guy who's gonna hug you, he can box, you know? The easiest thing in the world is just to pick him against everybody.
Right. Yes.
But Teo also has the kind of footwork, Malik, where he steps around guys. And I think about Buddy McGirt, Meldrick Taylor.
Yes.
Roy, you know, where Meldrick had quick enough feet where if you were going to come right at Buddy McGirt, he could box you. But Meldrick could give him angles that were more difficult. I think of Roy Jones.
His confidence isn't loud. It's built through repetition, discipline, focus, and muscle memory. Thousands of rounds designed to make decisions automatic when pressure hits. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson is locked in at camp. No noise.
With the audience, are you mentally going to be prepared with the certain punch selection? There's things that I have to maintain as well. Those are things that I have to work on within myself. It's a muscle. I think of it like condiments, right? You got your ketchup, you got your mustard, you got all these type of condiments, but you don't know if you like it or not unless you try it. And I think the same thing applies when it comes to getting prepared for certain things like this. Pretty much you have to try different things, different steps, different routines, different ways to see what really fits and works for you. And if they all fit and work for you, when is the right time to apply them? And it's a muscle memory that you have to create now. If you don't create now, it can harm you the day of the fight. The mentality part of it is going to really be the key moment for who wins that night. I'm that type of person, truly, that type of person that focuses on
No shortcuts. Every day is about sharpening details, tighter movement, cleaner defense, faster reactions. Shakur isn't just preparing his body, he's preparing his patience. The host, Wade, says this fight is exactly what boxing needs. Both fighters had safer options. Easier wins, but choosing each other creates legacy. High-risk fights open bigger doors.
Right at that chest, it's coming, it's coming.
That was 9 rounds of sparring. I ain't gonna tell y'all the minutes, but yeah, I'm preparing to my fullest. So I'm putting in a lot of work and getting ready. Sure.
Word.
Training with Shakur is amazing. A guy like me been knowing Shakur for over 10 years now. The boxing world know that we brothers and we'll never fight each other. And just being around him in his camp, man, it's nothing but positive energy. And everybody wanting to be great. He's like my big brother, man. Like, he is my big brother, honestly. You know, he got all the wisdom in the world, especially when it comes to defense. So he's just making sure I stay sharp on my defense and not getting hit.
Even the fighter who loses gains respect, exposure, and future opportunities. Best versus best keeps the sport alive. Wade compared it to MMA and the UFC, where fighters can lose and still grow their reputation. Fans stay invested because the matchups are real. By facing Shakur, Teofimo elevates his own value.
Don't realize about making best versus best fights. For the most part, only good can come from this. I'm going to knock on wood when I say that because I don't want to have one of these fights where we get a stinker performance or anybody. But when the pressure is this high, when the stakes are this high and you get this kind of opportunity, it will compound interest, even sometimes for the loser as well. This is why you look at MMA and you look at the UFC and they have guys with 10 losses, 5 losses, 12. Some people that you would never think are going to compete for a championship, and maybe they don't even compete for a championship, but they're in interesting fights that people want to watch. Doing fights like this makes Teofimo Lopez, makes Shakur Stevenson a bigger name, and therefore...
Critics called it running, but Shakur showed courage, discipline, and control. That willingness to engage didn't just prove skill, it earned respect and grew his fan base. This fight isn't about who looks better on paper, it's about who believes more and executes longer. Skill versus skill, pressure versus belief. Who wins when it really matters? Drop your prediction. Subscribe for elite boxing breakdowns.
If you enjoy real boxing analysis and honest opinions, make sure to subscribe to Boxy News and turn on notifications.